was always like a little bit smaller, scrawnier. I was the skinny kid growing up. I was always super small, super tiny. But I was always kind of a small kid. But my mom did put my brother and I in Taekwondo when we were younger. We were like, I don't know, 4th grade, 5th grade, something like that. We were in Taekwondo. And so that was my first introduction to the martial arts. Like, I think it helped develop me as far as being an athlete or whatever, but always kind of naturally flexible. But now I'd say that's the most of my athleticism, was just more flexibility and stuff, Otherwise I had to really work on being an athlete and developing into my body into an athlete. I think for me, personally, I love to compete. I just love competition for competition's sake. I learned to compete. I learned to be a competitor because I would do a wrestling tournament every weekend for 8 months of the year, and I did that for the first 5-6 years I started wrestling. And I would just compete and compete and compete and compete. Some tournaments I go 0-2. Some tournaments I would do 7-2. So you just need matches. You need time to compete. Jiu-jitsu guys, same idea. You go and fly somewhere and pay this money for the airfare, and pay this money for the hotel, and pay the registration fee. And you go and do a tournament. You get one match. Well, that kind of sucks, but you need that mat time. You need actual competition mat time to learn to compete and get better and have the right frame of mind. And the thing is, everybody's different. There is no one the same. The frame of mind that Floyd Mayweather needs to do his best is different than the frame of mind that Tiger Woods needs to be his best, which is different than the frame of mind Roger Federer needs to compete and to be at his best. So I think everyone's different, and you have to learn, you have to grow through competition and find out what's best for you. But for me, I never quite had a hard time with that, because I do love competition that much. I do love to compete that much. Whether we play thumb war, like I'm trying to take your head off when we play thumb war, like it doesn't matter what it is we're doing. So for me, I think I don't need that external drive on learning to compete, but some guys do need that, and that's okay. But you have to find out, and you can only find out through competition, doing it over and over and over and over, that what helps you the most through competition, and getting in that right frame of mind. You're only going to get it through experience, and that experience is sometimes expensive, or painful, or hurtful, or you get bruised and bloodied and whatnot to get that experience. But you're only going to get that experience by going out there and doing it.
The thing that separates Ben as a competitor is his willpower. Like he's not ever going to break. As coaches, as competitors, we all see people get to a certain point, and then it gets hard, or the guy's just really good, and we kind of concede that. Ben will never concede. He's not ever going to give anything up. He's going to fight you till the very end. There's never a point that Ben will say, okay, I'm good. I'll just let it go. And that is what's made him a champion, and it's what makes him a great man. It makes him a great teammate. It makes him a great family man, that he's going to be there the whole time. He's going to endure no matter what happens to him.
Anywhere else, you choose to be right there. You choose to work the top.
You got to break this down.
You don't do it alone, yeah? We all push each other. We all help each other out. Days we're sad, days we're tired. Encourage each other, yeah? Be there for one another. Together on three. Together on three. 1, 2. Together.
Nice job. Nice job.
You jumped the gun on that one, Mike?
Good work.
John Crouch is very, fundamentals, detail-oriented, meat and potatoes jiu-jitsu guy, kind of a really old-school traditional jiu-jitsu. He got his black belt underneath Horing and Hoist. He trained with Halio. He taught at the Gracie Academy back in the day. So his jiu-jitsu is very, very, traditional. good details, great eye for details. So for me, training with him was absolutely perfect in what I needed.
You look awesome today. You are going to be a superstar in this sport. Remember, I was the first one that said that. Hey, I mean it. Yes. I think you're going to be phenomenal. You're going to be a household name if you want to be. You know, if you keep going doing the things you're doing, you're going to beat everybody else.
Stay with you guys.
Everybody. It's you though, man. I mean, you got a big heart, and you're a great guy, and you're a great fighter. I'm enjoying every step of this way. I first met Benson when I coached Alvin Robinson, who's a fighter, and he was in the UFC. He was my first serious fighter that really wanted to do it. And he had wrestled in college with a guy named Leister Bowling, who was Elevation's head coach, by the way. But Leister was college teammates with Benson. So when Ben asked Leister, hey, I want to fight, what do you think? Leister's like, oh, you should go train with Alvin. And Ben came down. So the first class he ever took, he just walked into my jiu-jitsu class. I had no idea who he was, and promptly strangled one of my brown belts with a guillotine, you know. So that was the first time I ever met him.
At the time, he had just started being an MMA coach. He had one of his very first students, Alvin Kid Robinson, said, hey, I want to be a fighter. And John said, cool, like I trained with Hoist a little bit back in the day. I don't have any other fighters, but we can figure this out together. So him and Alvin did their thing, and that's kind of how he segued into MMA. And so when I went down there, I started training with John. Only way he knew how to do it was to do that, train in the gi, you know, progress all the way through, and that'll, like, if the better you are in the gi, it's only going to help your no-gi game. It's only going to help your MMA game. So that's what I did. I personally believe that training the gi helps the training MMA tremendously. I think it's the attention to the details, it's the monotony of it. It's just like, you know, the mental work of training in the gi is the same thing as the physical work of doing a hard wrestling practice. Almost the exact same, but different. You know, the hard physical grind of a wrestling practice will help you grow and get better and get stronger and get mentally tough. That same strong kind of mental grind of going through the belts and doing this position and doing that position and learning this, learning that is the same type of grind, but more for your mental aspect of it, you know. And then you know, if you can get out of an armbar in gi, getting out of an armbar in no gi is cake. It's a lot easier, you know, in my estimation, in my opinion. So I think that training in gi is definitely helpful for MMA guys. And you know, we're here at the MMA lab. We definitely strongly recommend all of our young fighters to get in the gi. I think it took me 6 years to get my black belt. 1 year is white, 1 year is blue, 1 year is purple, and then I did like 3 years at brown belt. So, and then I got my black.
I go back here and get up on my toes and drive my hip in here. My hand comes inside. If I need to, I can back out right there. So whichever way we need the hips to go, let's get Randy, come here and grab Benson in a triangle. So when we go, if he pushes our arm all the way over, he pushes it, we go right to his knee and drive the knee under us. Yeah, now get up on your toes, champ. Usually don't let go, Randy. You drive forward and it'll loosen the triangle enough you can put your other hand in. Now you can back out if you want. If you want to go forward, you can. It's your choice. Usually backing out is the safest right there because your head's pretty low. So back again. So we're either going one way or the other. If he lets us put the arm.
Oh, I love ADCC. I think ADCC is probably maybe my top 2 formats. No, for maybe the best format that there is for grappling. I think it's great. I was able to do it in 2013, in 2015, 2017. I had a fight like the week after, so I couldn't do it. And in 2019, I had another fight like the 2 days afterwards. So hopefully the ADCC can give me another call, and I want to compete one more time. I'll have a full-on, like, same as my MMA camps, training camps. I'll have a full-on, 6-week, 8-week training camp of doing just nothing but getting ready for ADCC. But ADCC is super fun. It's super awesome. Those guys are super high level. They train 12 hours a day just doing that stuff. So it's super high level, fun to watch. I'm a big fan of ADCC.
How's it going, Ben, for your first ADCC?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing not too bad. Got having a good time watching all these great matches. Some of the literally the best guys on the planet at submission grappling, jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to call it. These guys are top level guys. So I was watching some of the matches. That's amazing in itself. Got the invitation. Kind of a late notice, but they asked me, and I said sure, why not? For me, this is more, I love to compete, love to have fun, and this is where I do it at. First match went okay, It was nice to go out there, get a good sweat, have a tough match. A lot of the guys like the easy matches and go in and have 45 seconds and then leave right away. I like that, get that good sweat out of the way. So for me, and all my matches seem to go that way anyway. But it was a good first match. The guy had a couple of really tight, tough guillotines on me. I had a couple of good guillotines on him. He would flip-flop back and forth, but I won 11-0, so it was a good match. It's nice. I love to compete. I love competition, whether it's jiu-jitsu or Monopoly or Scrabble or whatever it is. Ruzzle. I love Ruzzle. But it's nice that I can compete and have fun in this, and it kind of translates crossovers to my actual job.
The more you compete, the better it helps you. Learn to compete, learn to be a competitor, learn to always get fired up and get after it. Not rest on your laurels, not rest on what your past accomplishments. So I think even gi competition, no gi competition, I think it all helps your MMA game.
All 3 judges saw it the same. For your winner by unanimous decision, Smooth Benson Henderson.
Hello everyone, it's Stuart Cooper here. I'm just going to take a moment to talk about Elemental Labs LMNT drink. Now this electrolyte drink is far superior to the other sports drinks you're most likely to buy in the supermarket. Most of those other drinks are loaded with sugars, artificial sweeteners, and they don't actually contain a lot of sodium, potassium, and they usually have 0 magnesium. But LMNT has got over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, and it's got 0 sugar. Instead of artificial sweeteners, they use stevia, which is something that I really like. Also, it comes in small sachets, so it's really easy to put in your bag and carry around with you if you travel a lot. I think it's a great way to kickstart your day, you know, power through your workouts and replace all those salts that your body loses from the hard training. So right now, for a limited time, you can go to drinklmnt.com and claim a free sample pack. You only have to cover the cost of the shipping, that's it. So this offer is only available through the link below in the YouTube description, so make sure you check it out.